tip on painting with acrylic. A problem you have is that the colours can be quite garish, and what I find is my actual paintings, the colours are quite subdued and quite subtle, where the actual video there's more of an intensity with the colours and more like acrylic, the problem you have with acrylic. But if you were to see the actual painting compared to the colour I've got here, it's far more subtle, far more subdued. And the way I achieve that is by what's called glazing. Because people say, oh, acrylic is garish or it's dark. But to glaze, you just push the colours back. Only obviously with a camera, it's cutting through the glazes and then giving it as it was before I glazed it. But let me just give you an idea what I mean by glazing. I've mixed white, you can see here. I've mixed white with a little bit of blue, and it's very watery, like milky really, like a milky consistency. And then I'll softly brush that. Let's take this area here, and if I just brush it over very lightly, and again, you need to put a lot on, don't just do a little bit. Now, whether the camera will pick this up, I don't know. But as I'm putting it on now, this is getting pushed right back and the colours are being quite subdued. Because what I'm doing, I'm putting a little bit of a film of colour over the colour that's there, and it's softening it and pushing it right back into the distance. This, by the way, is Nantlle. When I stumbled across this view first, I was looking for a little village called Trevan, where there was a great preacher who once lived and ministered, Talsan, John Joel's Talsan, and near the village was this incredible view, and the drive through this valley is quite spectacular. Not for the faint-hearted, very narrow roads, but it is something. Now you see, whether the camera's picked this up, I don't know. But this is really subdued now. Well, why don't I just try something similar on the other side? And just to push this back as well. Though it's not going to go back a lot now because I've already done it once. But you can put glazes on like this, and it'll subdue your acrylic, and that garish, it'll take that garish colour away. So what it means is you don't have to remix, just put a little bit of a glaze on. But again, you can see what I'm doing. I've got white with a bit of blue, very watery, and don't try and push it too much over, bit at a time, little bit, so it goes a long way. And now I can go over the rocks as well, actually, and it'll push it all back, it doesn't matter. And so this is glazing, and this is Nantlle. So now see, that is really subdued to me. Whether the camera has picked that up, I don't know, because the camera's cutting through the glaze. But I could do something similar as well now, even with this foreground. And I'm putting this milky wash over, and you try it and you'll be amazed how subtle it can go. And actually, if you're painting acrylic on watercolour paper, and you do this a number of times glazing, you can't tell it really apart from a pastel. It'll look just like a pastel work. And there's an artist in Armandford who's got a gallery, well, he used to, and he used to do this technique and on watercolour paper, and his paintings are so subtle, they were just like pastel work really, only it was acrylic on watercolour paper. Now, there we are. That's really subdued that. As I'm looking at that now, I wouldn't really want to alter that. Now, again, whether the camera, looking at my camera here, that's still vivid green. But if you saw the actual painting, you would see that subtly just pushed right back into the background. So that's glazing.